Yo, what's going on, man? Today is the 14th of July. We have four games in the WNBA today. Super excited to break down the games and let you guys know how I'm looking at them. But let me not get too far ahead of myself. Welcome in to the ChrisBeCappinn NBA Show. Hopefully, you guys are having a good Sunday start to your Sunday morning. Um, I just got a message from the source that I use to create my shows, and it looks like I'm not going to be able to stream on Twitter today for whatever reason. So, or X or whatever you want to call it. So, real quick before we get started, and we'll jump into a quick recap of the games yesterday. I didn't have any official plays, but we'll jump into a quick recap of the games yesterday. But I want to take a second and just send the link out for the people who typically watch on Twitter and just tell them to come over to YouTube real quick. So y'all bear with me while I do that, and then we'll jump right into it and get started. All right, that tweet should be sent out. Yeah, maybe it is working. It's telling me that it's not working though, but for whatever reason, let's jump into it for today, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. As always, y'all do me a favor on the way in, since I never asked you to hit the like button for me as you join the stream, especially if you're not gonna be here for the whole time. I got a couple really good looks, I think, for today. So let's do that. Let's jump right into it for today. Like as I said yesterday, I didn't give out any official plays. We saw the Chicago Sky absolutely just shout out to Sandy Brandello. She shrank the court on the Chicago Sky yesterday. They could not make a shot. Kennedy Carter gets benched after picking up two early fouls. Never really comes in. It has a tremendous impact on the game. The line opened at 8.5, went all the way down to 5, I think 4.5, and Chicago couldn't score. Liberty without Sabrina. Without Stewie, go in and absolutely mollywop the Chicago Sky. And then in the second game, Arike Gumbawale, man, she really frustrated me yesterday because I know I talked about taking her player props. That's why I stay off player props, because they just so volatile, man. She shoots 2 for 13, I think, from the field. And even though her team plays well, she plays terrible yesterday. Horrible shot selection. And they lose the game yesterday as well. So let's go through a couple of the comments real quick. I think my guy Dream's going to be joining us and shortly, and then we'll get into the games that we have for today. Jay says, hit the like button on the way in, fam. Liberty -5.5 was sweaty for a bit yesterday, but cashed in the end. They absolutely did. What up to my guy Mark in the chat? Chad, what's going on, bro? Hope all is well with you. He says Lynx -4, Sun -7, Mystics +12. I like to see it, Chad, because I like a couple of those as well. We're going to jump into them for sure. Love when we align, though, for sure. Chad been killing W. Marquis says, rise and grind, people. Let's get to it. It's 3-1 yesterday. My Sparks came through. Hamby rebounds. Ugh. Hamby had 4 rebounds. Crazy to think that Hamby had 4 rebounds. But Rakia, boy, Rakia looked great yesterday. Rakia looked so great yesterday. Let's my fault. Let me I need to do one more thing before we get started. Let's go here and do this real quick. Let's see. One more thing before we get started. We're gonna get started in just a second. All right, let's get back to the comments. Chad says he's on a nice run right now. 20-7, up 24 units Sunday, 3-unit plays. He giving you guys looks, man. What's up, Helms? He says happy Sunday all. What else y'all saying in the comments? T Mitchell in here as always says less cash. Good morning, everyone. Don't forget that like button as always when you're coming through. Appreciate that. Helms like Rob Dillingham today to get 15 points at plus 135. He is a dog. I will be trying to watch that game for sure. SRT, I think that's a new name, but good morning to you as well. What up, Dropping Dimes? He says, morning, Chris in chat. Warriors. Okay. Cup of Joe, good morning to you as well. There go my guy, Dream. Let's see if we can get Dream in here. There we go. Boom. What up, Dream?
What up, man? Top of the morning, gang.
How you doing, bro?
I can't complain, man. I'm all good. How are you?
I'm good, bro. I can't complain either. Just going through a couple of these comments before we get started. So you didn't even miss nothing. You didn't miss nothing at
all right.
PZ says top of the morning, gang. Maria Mabry over her 13.5. I mean, if she won't shooting yesterday, nobody was scoring. I mean, they look terrible. So yeah, Marina didn't got out of that slump, man. It sucks that it come, a game before the Olympic break. But yeah, she didn't got out of that shooting slump for sure. Because she had went under, I think, 2 or 3 games, especially those games against Seattle. Chad says Dream definitely is bad. not Dream on the stream, but the Atlanta Dream. They are pretty terrible, man. What's up, B Weezy? Top of the morning to my guy Justin as well. All right, let's get into the games, man. Kobe says Kennedy Carter regression was coming for sure yesterday. I mean, if she had the minutes, it might not would have came, but yeah, she could never, basketball is a game of rhythm, and she just never had the rhythm yesterday. I would agree with that. What's up, Big Smoothie? Says top of the morning, King. Laugh aloud, my bad yesterday, but today's a new day. Absolutely, bro. You don't got to apologize, man. You do not have to apologize, bro. What's up, Sarah? Good morning to you as well. I'm not touching on the president and the whatever that was on this ain't that type of stream, but yeah, I know people got opinions. Nathan monitoring people to hit the like button as well. Let's see. Mystics under team total, Jalen says. We're gonna get into that in just a second. What up, Lightbearer? Says top of the morning to the guy Dream. And Damon in here as well. Says top of the morning. Let's get some money. So let's do just that, man. We've been talking, about non-basketball plays long enough, and that's what the stream is for. So first game up, Dream, we got the Mystics and we have the Sun today. This line was at 7 last night, 7.5, and I'm thinking to myself, like, man, that's a lot of points to lay with a Connecticut team that don't score enough for me. So I didn't want to do that, Dream. I said, man, I want to kind of stay clear from this one. But a lot of it is due to the injury report, which in my opinion makes this game unplayable until we figure that out. Real quick on the injury report, you got the Mercury, Natasha Cloud, knee, questionable. Brittany Griner, hip, questionable. Diana Taurasi, lower leg injury, questionable. And Silk Sutton already ruled out with a right hamstring injury. So I mean, that's 4 there's 5 starters right there. Like, I'm not sure what we're doing here. I immediately, when I look at that, I think, all right, well, Mercury team total under, but it's like 72.5. And if they get rolled in, they could definitely get to that number, especially with a team that plays so fast. The Mercury's offense is number 1 rated over the last 5 games, although they've been giving it up 11th defensively over the last 5 games. On the Connecticut side, do have the rest advantage here, 3 days compared to 1. 3rd straight home game, that should say home game, and back-to-back non-covers against the Atlanta Dream and the New York Liberty. So coming off a loss against the Liberty, probably want to bounce back in this spot here, Dream, but do we trust them to be winning by double digits here? What you thinking about this game, Dream? Would you play it? Is there any way to play it so far? Do you think that those young ladies are going to not play? What's your thoughts on this game? I know it's a tough position to put you in.
Well, I tell you what, I wish I would have saw the 7 because I just feel like some of these stars are going to start sitting for the Olympic break. If they get an opportunity to. Brianna Stewart, she sat last game. I'll be surprised if she plays on Wednesday, depending on who they play. Tuesday, I'm not sure who they play, but unless it's a huge game, she may sit there as well. And Brittany Griner, she tried to stay in that game last game, and coach took her out and left her out. So I wouldn't be surprised to see her and or Taurasi sit. And I just felt that yesterday. So I think that's why the line is moving. Like you said, at this point, it's not really much you can do. I mean, if we get news that, Taurasi, well, Griner is really the one. If Griner gets ruled out, then, I think that Connecticut can really stifle this team, stop them from scoring. I think they held them under 50 once this year or at least under 60 without Grinder. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier, Jay. I think it was what was
70
that?
to
That was
47.
Yeah.
So
It was the game they shot historically bad from the 3-point line. I think they shot 3% or something like that. It was less than 5% from the 3-point line. I remember that game. I was on Connecticut team over. They didn't even need to get there.
And I feel like the next game when they played Connecticut, they didn't shoot much better. They scored, but the next game they played Connecticut, they shot 3 for 13, 17. So it could just be Connecticut's defense that stops them. You know, Connecticut is a really good defensive team, especially from 3. So, yeah, I will wait. And if Griner gets ruled out, I'll be looking toward the team total as long as it doesn't get crazy. But one spot I do love and that I did manage to play in the SGP, I played this on BetMGM. Dejanay Carrington to get 4 rebounds, and the Sun -3.5. That's a -135. It's an SGP on BetMGM. Dejanay Carrington, she's played this team twice, 8 and 10 rebounds, and they give up a bunch of rebounds before. I think first or second in the league, and the amount of rebounds they give up before. So, yeah, and that's the Sun, by the way. Yeah, so I found a way to dumb that down just because I haven't been having the best luck with Dejanay lately, but I think it's a great spot for her. So I couldn't talk you off a full ladder up to 8. I would leave it at 8. I wouldn't do the double, but yeah, I like Dejanay boards today.
So you said that was Dejanay with who again, Jim?
Dejanay 4 rebounds, Dejanay Carrington for the Sun. Yeah, Dejanay Carrington 4 rebounds, and I put that with the Sun -3.5, and that's a SGP on BetMGM.
Nice. Okay, I'm right. I'm just jotting it down now, so you don't got to tell me again when we do the recap. Yeah, I think that's a great way to play it, and that's why I like to have you on the show, Dream, because you be thinking outside the box. You be thinking outside the box for sure. So I do love that. I love that from Dream for sure. All right, cool. I did want to mention just really quickly, not that it really matters in the moment, but I did want to mention because I just don't want to play the game before knowing who's playing or not. But I'll give you guys a couple trends just for the people in the chat. I was looking at Phoenix, and they failed to cover 4 of their last 5 as road dogs. They're also just 3-5 against the number as road dogs on the season. Connecticut, you mentioned this, Dream. They are a really good defensive team, man. They stifle their opponents, and with the rest advantage, with them coming off a loss, it makes sense that it's a nice bounce back spot for them here. It does align that in that direction. Connecticut is 7-1 in the first half with the rest advantage against the number. Connecticut is they're also only just 2-3 when they land double digits though. And I was looking at the total, which is super low right now, 154. These big spreads, double digit spreads with a low total that's below 156, below 160, don't tend to go well for the home team that's laying a lot of points. It says that they don't typically score that many points either. But Connecticut is 17-5 to the under this season. That's a hell of a trend. 17-5, because we know that they can struggle to score the basketball as well. I was looking at that Phoenix team total specifically at 72.5. It's a number that Connecticut has only given up once as a double-digit home favorite. They gave up 67 to Atlanta. They gave up 70 to the Sparks. They gave up 72 to Indiana and 59 to the Washington Mystics. So, if those players don't play, I think it will be really, really difficult for the Phoenix Mercury to play with pace that they want to play with. And I think it'll be difficult for them to score the basketball. Connecticut is also 8-2 to the under in the first half as a home favorite, and they're 7-1 to the under in the first half when they have the rest advantage. So maybe take a look there. Definitely want to know, like I said, who's going to be in and out for Phoenix. The other way that I considered playing this game, because all of those trends align to this, Phoenix first half team total under. The number is low. It's 37, pretty much 37, so 36.5, -125 on Bet365. But it's just because Connecticut is allowing a league low. Listen to this, Dream. Connecticut is allowing a league low 31 points in the first half when they're a home favorite. They're giving up 17 in the first quarter and 14 in the second quarter. So
that's all about right.
Yeah, and none of their opponents have cleared their team total. Their opponents are 10-0 to the under on their team total in the first half when they're a home favorite this year. So that automatically made me think Phoenix team total under. But like I said, I just can't quite get there because one of these young ladies could be ruled in. If it's Natasha Cloud, that's going to help the offense. If it's DT, that's going to help the offense. But they need more. They need more than Khalil Copper, in my opinion. So I just wanted to mention that Phoenix team total under. If those girls all get ruled out, I'm probably gonna try to play something as quickly as I possibly can. But just wanted to share that with the chat real quick. Let's see, real quick, get to the couple of the comments before we move on to the next one. Cup of Joe says, Dream, Freaky T, and Jaquel did not do it for us yesterday. Shaking my head.
Talking about first baskets.
Freaky T was trying to get one. I saw that, but they didn't want to throw the ball on the inside.
And then they gave it to her the next possession. I'm like, you could have did that in the first possession.
Yeah. I saw it. I was like, you know what? Let me get on the board first. I was watching that. Jalen says Mystics team total under. We're gonna talk about that in just a second. What's up, Ronaldo? He says, what's up, fellas and ladies? Tuning in. Let's get this bread. Absolutely. Where else we at with it? PZ says, I like Connecticut under 154. Can you talk me off? I would just wait, PZ. See if they get ruled, if those girls get ruled in, maybe you take the under then because you'll get a higher number, but I don't want to play it early. Chad says Sun in a landslide, and this means a lot coming from Chad because Chad do not like the Sun. He called them the frauds. So if Chad like it, if Chad like the Sun, you probably want to be on the Sun here. What up, Blaine? Appreciate you for tapping in. Arthur says, good morning, Chris. I'm an admirer of your work. Couldn't do it without you. Would you consider making a tutorial on how you use Moneyballer? You explain things very well. Yeah, absolutely could, Anthony. What I would encourage you to do is check out my guy, Ronald Cobain. He has his own Twitter. He created the website. Him and a couple of his business partners created the website. So I would recommend checking out his YouTube channel. Because when he breaks the games down, I have graphics and stuff. When he breaks the games down, he goes straight to the website and just shows you guys everything that he's looking at. So you can go back and watch his videos and see how he's breaking down MLB, NBA, WNBA. But yeah, I could definitely do that, Anthony. I wouldn't mind doing that. Maybe that's something I'll look into. Chad says not the best spot for the Mercury, but they are banged up, and the Sun are not a team you want to play when you're in a bad spot or banged up. And that's a fact because you're going to struggle to score the basketball. Only going to struggle to score the basketball. Jalen said, only way to play this one is full game under. What up to my guy? Jamie in the chat. Ball Talk says, Chris, been going crazy with the over-unders. Yeah, I ain't been playing them, though, Ball Talk. That's the crazy thing. Like, I've been chilling. Been coming on here talking about them, but haven't played any of them. Also says, shout out to Rakia Jackson yesterday. Whoever dropped it. Yeah, we talked about Rakia Jackson on the stream yesterday. I think her 15 points was plus 163, and she was cooking early. I think she might have missed her first shot, and she hit like the next 3 or 4. Rakia's she's gonna be good, man. I like to see the Sparks, playing like that. And shout out to Kurt Miller for leaving her in the game because sometimes he just pulls her out for no reason. So yeah, like that a lot. Alyssa Thomas under her points. Don't have a strong opinion about that, Thomas. 17-5 straight up and 17-5 to the under, definitely correlated. Right there with you, Chad. It's only Sun and it's only under, even though they typically haven't been covering that number. But I would need to see. what that looks like. All right, let's get into Dad says he's the number one Sun hater. He's not hiding it. What up to my guy Fred? He says first M under makes a lot of sense. Might be a fade for real. Yeah, that's the way I would look at it.
Is that line available anywhere, man?
What is that? 36.5 there?
Yeah, I mean the first half team total in general. Is that even available anywhere right now?
Absolutely. Yep, it is. I was looking at it earlier. It's a couple books that have these, totals and first half totals. Right now, the team total for the Phoenix Mercury in the first half is 36.5. Like I said, best number is minus 120 on Bet365. FanDuel has it at 35.5 minus 120. So you're already getting a point difference there. And looks like DraftKings doesn't have it available, but those 3 books do cover first half team totals. So yeah, that's the way I would play that. Justin says, got to tell the Suns first. The Suns number one hater when they take the Sun. I like it a lot. And Drop It Down says also on FanDuel as well. Yeah, only way I would look. Kalani says, what do you think about Dejanay over 12.5 points? Dejanay's cooking right now, Dream. I couldn't talk anybody off, playing her overs. I would be scared to play her unders right now just because she's become such a focal part of the offense. What's your thoughts on Dejanay right now, Dream? If you had to play her points prop, would you go over or would you go under? Just stay away.
I would definitely just stay away. I see somebody talking about Bonner. Only thing I would do if I was playing an over for anybody as far as points, I would be looking at Bonner threes. She's been really shooting the ball well. She got 20 points in 3 straight games, but I think this game could be over. This game could be a blowout where, and if you watch Dejanay, she goes out at a terrible time. So she'll go out at like the tail end of the third quarter, almost midway through the third. And if it's a blowout, she won't get back in. We've actually been hooked. I needed her just to score 10 points the last 2 games that they played, just to cover a great blunt money bet. And she finished with 9. One time because she didn't get back in the game. The other time she got back in, it was a blowout. And she just took 2 threes and didn't hit them. So I don't know if she had 9 last game or 2 games before that. But yeah, I will personally stay away from Dejanay. I like the rebounds, and you see I dumb those down because I think she can get that done in 3 quarters. But I would just play Bonner threes, man, because Bonner can do that in the first half, and I'm pretty sure she's got 3 threes, and yeah, 3 straight games, 3 and 7 her last 2 games. She actually had 7 threes a couple of games ago. So,
yeah. Okay, all right. So James says stay away from the points. In his opinion, he would like the rebounds a little bit more, and I couldn't. Yeah, like I said, no player props for me. So hopefully that helps you out a little bit in the chat. Who is that? Kalani. Yeah, hopefully that helps you out a little bit, Kalani. What up, Jay Aries? Appreciate you for tapping in as always, my brother. All right, let's jump into the next one, Jay. I feel like we did a pretty good job there. Like I said, if I'm playing anything in this game here, it is I'm waiting first and foremost. But if I see those ladies get ruled out, because like Dream said, that Olympic break is coming. We only got about 3 more games. Some of these teams only got 2 games left. They'll be done middle of the week, and we'll have a nice little break. I'm so looking forward to the break, Dream. But we'll have a nice little break because I'm not doing summer league, and yeah, that all correlates to maybe they get a little bit more rest. DT hasn't played in 3 or 4 games in a row now, so wouldn't surprise me there. Pay attention to the injury report, man. Have those notifications turned on. This is the earlier start time, 1 o'clock start time. Just kind of wrapping up here. All right, Gene, let's go. Next one. We got leader line to move. We got the Aces and the Mystics. Aces are gonna be in DC today. These tickets was crazy. I was looking at these tickets last night. Like, I'm thinking about pulling out. Nah, no, I'm not. But anyway, we got Aces on the road, Gene. They have been absolutely on fire as of late. But laying, almost 2 touchdowns here, total going up to 173. I see on some books it opened 171. So Mystics Aces on the road. Typically, line always gets bumped up just a tad bit. They do have a clean injury report for today, due to Aces. And the Mystics, same old. It's Shakira Austin, it's Brittany Sykes, it's Carly Samuelson. All will be missing for this game. So situational spot, Dream, we got last of a 3-game road trip for the Aces. They went to Seattle, got the job done, went to Atlanta, won that. They covered by a point if you got the 13. If you got the 14, then you lost. Because I think they ended up winning by if you got the 14.5, which is what it closed, that you lost. But this is the last game of a 3-game road trip. They've looked unstoppable, James. 7-3 against the number in their last 10 games. I know I tried to fade them a couple times, not in their last game, but I tried to fade them a couple times, and they definitely took my money. 15-7 now in the season straight up, 7-3 on the road, and only 4-6 against the number. Offensively, defensively, since Chelsea Gray's come back, they look absolutely on point, Dream. Now the Mystics on the opposite side, they're coming home off that outright win that they got against the Fever the other day. So you do get the rest advantage here, 3 days to 1. First game back home after that long 4-game road trip. And they still covering machines, 15-7 against the number. They didn't cover against the Aces when they were in Vegas. I think that was 2 weeks ago now. And I was on them in that spot. Do we think that they can get the cover here, Jim? Or how would you play this one if you're looking at it?
Man, and I love the Mystics. I really love playing that team, but I don't know, man. I'm not trying to get in front of this Aces train, man. I've seen the Aces literally BS for like a half and then just be like, all right,
turn it on. Yeah.
And then they turn it on and you look up and it's like, is it a 15-point game in the third quarter? Like, so man, honestly, for once, I'm kind of at a loss for this game. I don't necessarily like anything. I don't have a strong feeling whether or not the Aces are going to cover or the Mystics going to cover. I heard you say this a couple of days ago. If I had the proverbial gun to my head, and I had to play something, it would probably be Ariel Atkins to score 15 points and the Aces to win, which is a minus 116 right now. And I'd still only do that for a half a unit because Ariel can be flaky at times. Big Mama Steph Dolson has done well. Well, I think she's only played this team once. I thought she played twice, but the one time she played them, she's lit them up. But her last 3 games, her 3-point attempts have progressed, and they got her threes, over 1.5 at minus 200. Y'all know that ain't a play. So, like I, again, if you want to put her 2 threes with something for a half a unit, possibly. But she used to get a bunch more value than she got. Misha Hines-Allen, who did me dirty. I was all in this chat about Misha Hines-Allen one day. She did nothing. The next game, she got a double-double. I'm like, all right, Misha, that's how we doing. I couldn't talk you off of Misha Hines-Allen. She's been rebounding the ball very well. She's got at least, I think her rebound line is at 6. She's got 5 in like her last 6, something free Aaliyah Edwards, why is she not getting minutes right now? She's only getting 20 minutes a game. So honestly, that team, I couldn't touch it. If anything, Jackie Young, that's who I was gonna use as a parlay piece, just her to score 20. She's got 20 points both times she's played this team this year. And we know Jackie Young can turn it on. But aside from that, as a guy who generally can have a bunch of plays, I got nothing for you.
I like it, Jane. I like it because we trying to give out winners. We're not trying to just give out plays just to give out plays. It's never that type of pressure for sure. So I've been on the stream. I did 2 shows last two days and give out official play at all, Jane. So don't feel bad about it at all, man. Real quick, I wanted to check this real quick. Check this out real quick. Who said that in the chat? Jalen says Mystics haven't covered 79.5 points at all versus the Mystics, versus the Aces. I'm sorry. So I'm looking at it. They had 77 in the game on July the 4th. They had 77 against the Mystics in DC. That was the game that I think I was on the Mystics in that game.
Wasn't that they had the lead? Quarter?
Yeah, that was the 8.4 quarter because I had the over and they went under in that game. I definitely remember that. And those are the only 2 times so far. But I mean, this is right, Dylan. Last 3 times they haven't covered this number. Last 4 times, I'm sorry, they haven't covered this number. Which leads me to this. I had a lot of thoughts on this game. I also, just like Dream, don't want to fade the Aces. Really, really difficult too. But situationally, it kind of makes sense just a tad bit, man. I think, if you don't want to, as a way to look at the total. So I'll get into all of it. First thing I'll say is the Aces. I looked into a couple of the trends. They are 6-1 to the over since the start of last season when they're playing their 3rd consecutive road game. So the defense tends to weigh down just a tad bit, and the other team is scoring, which counterdicts what Jalen is saying here. The Aces are also just 7-13 against the number, 14-6 to the over when they're double-digit road favorites. So they haven't necessarily been covering all of those, and those games have been trending a little bit more towards the over. The Aces are also 1-5 against the number when they're double-digit favorites with the rest disadvantage. And we talked about it being a 3 days to 1 day of rest advantage here. Then on the opposite side, I looked at home dogs that are getting 12 points or more. They're 11-6 against the number this season, 11-6 to the over. So it says that the Mystics score in this spot, and then double-digit dogs coming off a win, which of course they won. They beat the Fever. Double-digit dogs coming off a win are 31-12-1 to the over since the start of last season. That's 72%. And if they're a home dog, they're 11-1 to the over since the start of last season. So all of these trends tell me to go over on the game, which I really, really like. I like the over on the trends. I think Washington will be able to get to 81, I think is what their number is this game. The Aces offense is not fadeable right now, in my opinion, because they can definitely go out there and score, as many points as they absolutely need to, even though they didn't against Washington. Against Atlanta, they went under. But on the opposite side, this is what scared me. I looked at since the start of 2021 season, so going back about 3 or 4 years, home dogs that are seeking same season double revenge. So you've lost to the team twice already. You're a home dog in the 3rd game. Those trends are heavy towards the under, 42-20, 42-20-2 to the under. So going under about 67%. That keeps me off of the total altogether because I really want to go over. So this is where I think you play it. This is how I think you play it. I said all that to say this. If you look at the Washington Mystics in the first half, they've been golden. We know that. You can get a +7, +7.5, depending on where you're shopping. I think the 7 is on Caesars and DraftKings. I saw some 6.5s out there as well. The Mystics are 6-2-1 against the number as home dogs in the first half. The Aces are 1-4 ATS in the first half when they're at the rest disadvantage. And if you don't want to play the spread, I do think there's a way to get to that team total over. It's 38.5. That says that even if they run out of gas late, Dream, we can get them to get. They're averaging 41 in the first half as a home dog. They've cleared their team total 6 of the 9 games. 6-2-1 are the Mystics to their first half team total over. I think Mystics first half over 38.5 is the look here, Dream. You can get that -120 on DK. What do you think about it, Dream?
Oh my God, bro! I love that play. That is a great play because that's everything, put together. It's like, I want to kind of stay away from the points with the Aces, but I do know that the Mystics can score a little bit. I know they definitely should have went over 81 of them games. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So, and we gotta mention big Mama Steph. She was not there for that game that was in. She got ruled out with that illness late in that game in Washington. In Vegas.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact. So. I love that. I'm gonna. I don't know if that's an official play of yours, but I'm gonna tell that. I want to ask you, to your point, why do you think when it's a double revenge that those tend to go under? I was thinking maybe because it's a more the team that lost twice. They paying more attention to defense, or maybe it's just familiarity with the team. But why do you think those go under like that?
Both, James. I think that's what it is. I think as a competitor, I talk about this a lot in the NBA, WNBA, which WNBA may be more competitive than the NBA, but don't get me started. I think if I done beat you, if me and you play a 1-on-1, Dream, and we just playing on a shot clock. We playing for 7 minutes. Whoever got the highest amount of points at 7 minutes, just 1-on-1, and I beat you the first time, and you a man with pride, and people watching, and then we play again next week, and then we play again a week after that, and I done beat you twice. The third time, you gonna be like, yo, I know Chris moves. Like, he ain't about to keep doing that same thing to me over and over again. So I think, like you said, from a competitive standpoint, it's like, yo, like, and then I think about who's on that team, because I think about the trend, then I think about who's on that team. The Mystics got a bunch of vets. Like, they're not just about to let you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So do I think the trend, that's a league-wide trend, applies to the team? And I would say absolutely, yeah. I think so. I definitely think so. So I think, like you said, the familiarity, I think it's the competitive juices, because this is the highest level of basketball in women's sports. So yeah, at that point, we got to bring it. You know what I mean? So I would, I think that trend definitely applies here. And I got Mystics +12.5 on the short list. I do think that they can lose this game by less than 10, man. I really, really do. Long as there's no funny business on the injury report. I know that the Aces have been red hot, but eventually they got to not cover a game, man. And to the point of let's see, Ouija in the chat says Mystics 9-3 against the number in their last 12 as double-digit underdogs. And this is true. I just looked into this as well. This season, 5-2 to the number, 5-2 to the over. I think you get in early with the Mystics, plus, like I said, 38.5 at the first half team total over. And I will be looking towards the Mystics plus the 12.5, man. I just haven't played it yet. I do see the sharp money looks like coming in on the Mystics in this one, plus 12.5 here. And I think, I know they burnt this last time, but I will be looking towards the Mystics plus the points here as well. Dropping Dime says first half team total, first half under 85.5. Not for me. Not for me. I need the Mystics to go over. So I'm not playing first half under, but if you're on the opposite side, I understand. All right, what else we seeing real quick? Let's go to a couple of the comments. Justin says, great morning, fellas. How y'all feel about the Aces -3.5 third quarter? I can't play it early, Justin. I would need to see how it's going. The Aces have been really good either in the second quarter or the first or the third quarter. First quarters haven't necessarily been it for the Aces, but it really just depends on game flow. Now, can you catch a live spot? Absolutely, and that's where you would probably do it. Chad says, "Come on, Chris, pull a trigger." I've been on the Mystics. Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I don't want the Aces today, Chad. So I'm probably gonna get there, and make an official play. I already put it on the short list. PG says he's riding the Mystics first half plus the 7.5, plus the 7. Tavon says FanDuel got a +13 for the Mystics. Definitely got to wait out the line. I always talk about that as well. Bruce likes Jackie Young today, who could definitely have a big game. Their offense can be a tad bit scary at times. Man, their offense is humming.
Chris, let me say, speaking of Jackie Young, man, Asia Wilson, y'all, 20 and 18 rebounds her last two. 11 and a half is a little too much. You know, that's too much, too rich for my blood. But I think it's worth, a blunt money bet. I'm trying to pull up what I played here. I did play her to get 18 rebounds, and when I say a blunt money bet, I mean like a 1/10 of a unit. But yeah, her to get. I think I played 18 rebounds. Let me find here. I hope this is still available. But 18 rebounds and the Aces to win is a +900 on BetMGM. So yeah, I couldn't talk you off of Ladder and Asia Wilson rebounds. I'm sure there's got to be some crazy record where no center's got 18 rebounds in a row or something like that. So I wouldn't play the 11 and a half base. I wouldn't, because that's a lot. But I would definitely, ladder them just to see if she can just go crazy. Just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. No, I think that's I definitely think that's worth note, Jane, because I think she had 20 rebounds in that game against Seattle. Seattle just couldn't make a shot. So I need Asia to have less rebounds, honestly, because I need the Mystics to cover.
Yeah, she picked them up in the second half when the Mystics. Yeah, that's what she
absolutely. Yeah, when she ain't down there when Mystics missing all their shots again. All right, let's go to the next one, Dream. This is a game that I absolutely love, man. I actually played this one yesterday, sent it out to the members. We got the Fever and the Lynx line actually looking like it's moving to 5.5 now. Open, I think, at 2.5. And I said, whoa, what? 2.5? I can lay with the Lynx? And total open 160, I think 162, 161.5, and it's up to 163 as well. So for the Fever, we have a team that is, I guess you could kind of say they're balling right now, even though they've been back and forth. I talked about this in the last game, and they ended up smoking the Mercury after Natasha Cloud got ruled out. So 1 day's rest. This is the first of a 2-game road trip before the Olympic break. They've been playing pretty good basketball as of late, Dream, but they've been kind of seesawing back and forth. Good game, bad game. Good game, bad game. Good game, bad game. It does feel like that time that they've had off since they got that little break that Caitlin Clark has been really, really playing, the best basketball maybe of her life. Like, she is actually, killing pretty much everything right now. But the Lynx, Dream, are a top tier team in my opinion. You got them 17-7, 15-9 against the number, 10-2 at the crib, 7-5 against the number at the crib. They're coming off 1 day's rest, flying back from Seattle, where they absolutely got punched in the mouth and never really responded. Gave up over 90 points in that game. I watched the post-game interview. Cheryl Reeves, who else was there? Kayla McBuckets, and who else was there with her? Courtney Williams. All took the podium after the game, and I just was loving what I was hearing from Kayla McBride in that interview, Dream. She said, our goal is to never let this happen again. Like, we didn't see this coming. We were disconnected. We let our defense affect our offense. Well, we let our offense, affect our defense. And the Fever still, they just don't quite do it for me yet here, Dream. Not against one of the upper echelon defenses. I watched the Fever. I was about to say the Mercury. My fault. I didn't even watch the Mercury. I watched Kalia Copper by herself bring this team all the way back and get it to within 3 or 4 points with 4 or 5 minutes left, and the Fever offense just kind of shrink up. So after such a big game, now that they're on the road, first game back, and also this is more just a play on the Lynx in my opinion. I just don't see them having that bad of a performance. You also got Nafisha Collier, who has been upgraded in this game to questionable. Popa, I think is how you pronounce her name, is listed as out, and then Timmy Bagley is also listed as out. So I think they stifled the Fever here today, Dream. I do. I played this when I saw it yesterday. I said, "Whoa, what? 2.5?" I think is what I got it at. So I think they start early. I think Lynx early, just because they got a real bad taste in their mouth. So I played them minus the 1.5 in the first half yesterday, sent that out to the members. and I played them full game -2.5. Now it's up to 5.5. I still would play it there as well. I just think that the Lynx bounce back in a really, really big way, and they get the Mercury, they get the Fever, who have been playing a little bit better recently. I think they get them up out of their dream. One thing with the Fever, they like to shoot a lot of threes. The Lynx have been one of the better 3-point defenses in the league. I think the Lynx turn the Fever over. A lot of pressure on, Caitlin Clark, which leads to a lot of easier baskets. And I think the Lynx gonna be turned up for this one, Dream. How you think this game goes?
Well, I was just wondering, like, damn, bro, you must know something I don't know. Because I think you get at Lynx out. I'm like, shit, I love my Lynx, but I couldn't trust it. I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, damn, man. Like, I don't know. So I just looked at that line. It's at 6. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So I don't know if Fee is coming back or if it's just kind of what you were alluding to, like the Lynx is a good team with Fee or not. Fee, I think, is what makes them a great team. But this is a team that plays defense. They got shooting. They got good point guard play. And they got somebody who can score 20 a game, Kayla McBride. So, the way I chose to play this game, though, was you can do it one of two ways. I did an SGP on DraftKings, but yeah, I'm fading Caitlin Clark. I played her under 3.5 threes, and I put that with the Lynx +6, and that's a -135. At this point, it's not that no more because the line has moved so much. So you could probably do that in the Aces money line because her under 3.5 threes is -160. I don't want to lay nothing near that. So anything to bring that down, maybe it's a Seattle money line, maybe it's an Aces money line. But anything to bring that down is where I would look. So Caitlin Clark, she's gone under this number in 9 of her last 12 games. And the Lynx, if you watch Caitlin Clark, she's not always necessarily looking to score, especially lately.
Not at all.
She trying to get that assist record or something. She's an amazing passer, and yeah, she can hit the three. But first of all, she hasn't been a great 3-point shooter this year. I believe from three, she's not even shooting 33%. Let me double check here. Okay, she's shooting 34% from three to begin with. So even though she can hit the three, she's not shooting it great. She's under this number 9 of her last 12 games, and the Lynx haven't allowed anybody to hit 4 threes in the last 5 games. And I just went back and checked the last 5 games. It could be more. The only person they allowed to hit 4 threes in the last 5 games was shorty off the bench. I think it was Sammy Howell, somebody from Seattle, and they just went crazy in a blowout. That's like Kayla Thornton threes that killed my damn Sky bet a couple of days ago when I had the Sky +11. And here comes, I think that was Kayla Thornton, or one of the two girls, Kayla or the other girl from the other girl who come off the bench for the Liberty, just came in hitting a bunch of corner threes toward the end. And that's what Sammy Howell did. It wasn't like, she was getting it. Not to say she didn't get it honest, but it was in a blowout when all the starters were out. So the Lynx don't allow threes like that. Caitlin Clark isn't she's a really good shooter, but she hasn't shot the ball great this year. And the trend works out for me. So yeah, Caitlin Clark under her 3.5 threes. Find your favorite super juicy party piece to put with it, so you're not laying 160. Again, I'm pretty sure you can put like the Aces money line or maybe even the Seattle money line with it, or you can just do a SGP and maybe put the Lynx +3. I don't think that's I wouldn't do that just because to me it's no value on the +3. But yeah, I'm trying to pull it up right now just so I can see, just to give you guys an official look. Yeah, Caitlin Clark under 3.5 and Aces money line is -128. So for the sake of this stream, I will give that out.
Okay. Nah, I like it. Jay. I think she's gonna struggle as well. I see Helm made a good point in the comments as well, and this is why what am I trying to say? This is why it can be difficult to want to fade it. He says Caitlin Clark plays 39 minutes and has the ball to start every possession. Even in a low scoring, she can clear her props easy, and that is true. But the numbers are going to be a little bit more inflated. So just to give you guys some more insight into the game, The Fever are still not playing super fast. Well, they have been playing a little bit faster. I'm sorry. They are third in pace over the last 5 games. The Lynx are 10th in pace over the last 5 games. They're playing very slow, very methodical, and they're playing really good defense. Even with them giving up 91 points to the Storm in their last game, they are still the number 4 rated defense over the last 5 games, number 2 on the full season, and they're still only giving up less than 77 points per game. So I know the Fever offense has been a lot more efficient as of late. They're 4th in effective field goal percentage, but they're still turning the ball over at the second highest rate. They are still the last team in assist rate, which is interesting because Caitlin Clark is out there diamond, but nobody else is getting any. So you really just cut the head off the snake here. Not to say that it's going to be easy, but I do think that Caitlin Clark struggles today. It's just a bounce back spot for the Lynx, in my opinion. And like I said, they don't give up. The Lynx don't give up, points off turnovers. They don't give up points in the paint. Where that's where Indiana has been killing. They're actually number 2 in points in the paint over the last 5 games. So I just think it's going to be really, really difficult. And also to your point, Helms, it reminds me a little bit of Kennedy Carter yesterday. One thing that we don't take into consideration pregame is if the Lynx go up by 15, 20 points in this game, do we even see Caitlin Clark in the fourth quarter? That's a way for her player props to go under. For anybody, player props to go under. So I like the bounce back spot for the Lynx. Whether Fee plays or not, I know that they're going to be locked in defensively, which is why I stayed off the totals. I stayed off, all of that good stuff. But I do think it's going to be a big first half and full game for the Lynx in a bounce back spot here today. Drew says Fever team total under. I didn't even look and see what this number was. I do see the total going up right now. It's up to 165.
I think it's like 82 and a half, somewhere
82
around
and a half. Okay, that sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds about right. Let's see. Marquis says 3-point shooting is key. Fever not hitting threes against the top 3 defense from 3. No chance. And to put some numbers behind this, the Indiana Fever are number 1 in above the break 3 attempts over the last 5 games. They're shooting 25 per game, but they're only shooting 26% from the 3-point line. The Minnesota Lynx defense is allowing the 3rd most attempts, but teams are still just shooting 27%, which is the 3rd best in the WNBA right now. So Marquise, there go your numbers to put behind this. I definitely agree with you there. Let's see. Ball Talk says Fever remind me of the Jazz. When they lose on the road to a top team, they get wrecked. And I would agree with that as well. What up, Kyle? He says late to the party. What up, Chris and chat? Let's get this money. Homie Dream in the building. Absolutely. Helm says the threes under prop is a good look though. I just wouldn't take under assists or anything else on Caitlin Clark personally. I didn't even look. I've been talking about her double-double and, I gave out her rebounds and assists as Aline in the last game. She flew over that, almost had a double-double in the first quarter. I think she had 7 assists, but I didn't play it. I would not be on Caitlin Clark today. I don't like the matchup as well at all. And I think I think they're going to be fired up. Juan says he's going Caitlin Clark, 12 assists, though, on at plus 300 on FanDuel. He says, I can't fade that. Okay, best of luck. Rose says Elena Smith, under 9.5, under 10.5. Okay. Discount says he likes Caitlin Clark, under 3.5 threes, and Lynx money line at plus 102 on DK. So similar to what Dream was saying. Couldn't talk you off of that. Dropping Dime says, Chris, you still like mini first half minus the 2.5? Absolutely. I think they're going to be winning the game by more than 1 possession. So getting that 1.5 yesterday, I thought was a steal. But if you can still get a 2.5, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a 1 possession game at the end of the first half, in my opinion. So I feel that's my strongest play today. First half and full game. I gave it out, played it same unit size for myself. Helm says Clark had 9 assists at halftime last game. That was in a bounce back spot after losing to the Mystics. We got to remember that. And it was against the defense that didn't have Natasha Cloud out there. So we got to keep those things into consideration. Mercury, right? Yeah, that was against the Mercury. That was against the Mercury. With yeah, just a little. It's a tad bit different out here, but we'll see how it goes. John says under on a 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Couldn't talk you off, John. I don't have a strong opinion on Caitlin Clark. I know she got a ball in her hand, but if they're getting smoked in the fourth quarter, she's gonna be sitting on the bench beside Christy Sides, in my opinion. So yeah, I wouldn't play Caitlin Clark today though. The day wouldn't be a day that I would play her. Let's go to the last one. June, this line is moving. I thought I was tripping yesterday when I saw this open at 13.5. It's up to 15 now on some books, just since we've been streaming. 14.5 on some books as well. Total hasn't really moved, so that all that means is that Seattle team total Atlanta Dream team total just continues to come down. I think this might be the lowest team total of the season. And we didn't see the Connecticut Sun play a lot of games where they've been double-digit favorites. The Atlanta Dream team total Dream, is it's actually not.
70.
I see 70 and a half, but I also see 69 and a half as well, which is absolutely crazy. To set the stage in this one, we got the Dream. They are pretty well rested, coming off 3 days rest. They lost, of course, to the Aces. Hold on, is it 3 days of rest for them? I don't think it is 3 days of rest. They lost to the Aces recently, right? Let me make sure I got this right real quick. I don't think it's 3 days of rest for them. I think it might be. Let me double check it.
Seattle? I think.
No. It's only 1 day of rest, so this is wrong.
Dream they just played. Yeah,
this whole graphic is wrong. This needs to be updated. So 1 day of rest here. 1 day rest. My fault about that game. So 1 day of rest here for the Atlanta Dream. They've lost, what is this? 6 straight games. Yeah, 6 straight games. So 6 straight losses. But they have covered 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4-2 ATS in their last 6 games, though, Dream. Long cross country travel, Dream. Atlanta's in the bottom right corner of North America, of course. They all the way, in the top left in Seattle now, different time zone, all that good stuff. Seattle got a nice bounce back in that last game, Dream. So you got them coming off 1 day's rest here. This is the 9th game of a 9-game homestand. And of course they just smoked who did they Minnesota. They just smoked Minnesota in that last game. So during this homestand, they've only failed to cover 2 of them. So they are 6-2 straight up and against the spread in these 8 home games. Would you lay the 15, Dream, and just and fade the Dream, which looking more like a nightmare right now, or would you be taking the points here with the Storm?
Later 15. I would love to shout out to guys like you, my guy Ski. Maybe Dream 3 years ago before I really started doing this for real. Be like, yo, they about to blow them out. Nah, man. These days, man, I can't. It got to be something real crazy for me to lay a double digits, especially 13. I know the Dream are awful. But nah, if I was looking anywhere, I'd have to take, 14 points with a professional team. One angle that I would like to bring to everybody's attention, if they don't know already, slight Tina Charles revenge game angle. She did play for this team last year and it didn't work out. I was reading some articles and they were just saying how she struggled picking up the fast-paced offense and she didn't finish the season with them last year. I remember because I'm like, I didn't remember betting on Tina Charles last year for Seattle. This is my first time ever betting on Tina. So her line is a low for the entire year at 13.5. This is definitely a game where she can only play 17 minutes like Tina Charles tends to do. For Tina Charles, just because you guys don't know, she's one of the greatest players of all time. But aside from that, if you watch her, she's not afraid to shoot. She'll shoot the ball 4 or 5 straight possessions if she gets it. She's gonna get her attempts up, and I would assume that she gets at least 10 or 11 attempts up, even if she plays 18 minutes. So I'm not gonna play it. I may find a way to put, her 12 points on BetMGM, on a sort of like maybe use it as a parlay piece or something like that. But yeah, I'll be looking towards Tina Charles, and still got a little more research to do. But I feel like Ezzy can have a really good game. I think NECA is gonna be guarded by Tina, and if that's the case, they have nobody on Atlanta to guard Ezzy. Ezzy Magmagor, I think her last name is. Mm-hmm. What's weird about these games is 3 of them we've got no data from this year. 2 of them. Phoenix, the game right before this with Minnesota and Indiana, and this game as well. These teams haven't even played each other yet this year. This will be the first time them playing. So if I was looking toward anywhere, I couldn't talk you off of Skylar Diggins' assist. She has been, dishing the ball amazing. Like I think she's got something like 7-8 assists in her last 6 games. The only thing that scares me about this, honestly, it could be a blowout. Now Skylar does love her stats. She will come in. She came in last game in a blowout just to get her double-double. I don't know if she ended up getting it, but she was dang sure trying. But yeah, Skylar Diggins, 8 assists in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 of her last 8 games in her last 4 games. 12 assists last game, and she did actually get that double-double on 3 of 10 shooting last game. So couldn't talk you off of it. I'm just gonna leave it alone because this game could be a blowout, man. And what I've learned playing props as much as I do, there is no worse feeling than turning the game on thinking you got a bunch of great looks, and then you look up in the second quarter and it's a 20-point game. And you're like, my God, I just hope just please pay a little bit of the fourth quarter. And this game could really be that because we saw what Seattle can do. They did it against Minnesota. I love the Minnesota. I actually loved the over in that game, and it barely got over the 152 barely got over that. But we saw once the Storm said, all right, that's enough, they just started trapping the ball handler, and Minnesota couldn't do nothing with it. If they do that with the Dream and they just decide to trap Alicia Gray, whether Aerial Powers plays or not, Atlanta not going to be able to score. They don't got nobody to score. So
she already rolled out too, Dream. Aerial Powers, Ryan Howard. Yeah, all of them ruled out already.
Okay, so yeah, 70 is too much. It's a little too low for me. But yeah, I would just I would leave it alone, man. I would leave it alone.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a game. I think Chad said it in the chat. He kind of summed it up for me as well. I was looking at. He said too many points for my blood, but definitely looking to take the Dream. But definitely not looking to take the Dream, right? And we'll hope for a live spot to grab the Storm at a slightly better number. And I agree with that. If this comes down to 10, now can they win this game by 15, 20? Absolutely. But are they also coming off a triple revenge spot in their last game against Minnesota? I'm pretty sure they had that one circle, especially after losing to the Aces. You just won by 20. One thing I looked at, Dream, was I didn't get like a big sample size. Home favorites laying 14 points or more with a low total of 156 or less. And what is this total? This total is 154. You just don't see this a lot in the WNBA. Actually, it's only happened 23 times since 1990, whenever they started playing WNBA basketball. And it's not a lot there. They 21-2 straight up. You would expect them to win the game, but only 10-13 against the number. So you could see a backdoor cover here. The other thing I looked at was the Dream specifically. I want to know how the Dream do when they're a road dog and they're getting 10 points or more. And since the start of last season, when the Dream are double-digit dogs, hold on, let me make sure I got this right. All right, yeah. So since the start of last season, when the Dream are double-digit road dogs, they are 1-4 straight up, 3-2 against the number. So they have been covering, but they're 5-0 to the under, and they've stayed under their team total in 4 of the 5 games. So, 67 points against the Sun, 75 against the Liberty, 65 against the Aces, and 72 against the Aces. So, when they go on the road and they're getting double digits, they fight, and the other team stays under as well, but it's not their offense that's keeping them in the games. The defense actually does it. And if they can defend the three-point line, we've seen Seattle struggle at times. I'm just concerned, Dream, with the Dream not having a true point guard. Haley Jones and Alicia Gray been kind of man in that position, trying to do the best that they can with no Jordan Canada there, and of course no Ryan Howard and Aerial Powers. I'm concerned that the Dream turn the ball over and Seattle gets out and starts to run. So that scares me a tad bit too much, because we know what the Dream could do what the Storm could do when they absolutely lock in on the defensive end. So real quick, I just wanted to look at that real quick. I'll do this real quick and we'll get into a quick recap. I just want to look at the Dream's offense and see how turnover prone they've been recently. So we know that they're, worst offense in the WNBA last 5 games, only shooting 46% effective field goal percentage. And they turn the ball over more than any other team in the WNBA, 12th in turnover rate. That makes me think a little bit more Seattle team total over. But Seattle could win this game because Atlanta only scores 60 points as well. So like Chad said, I think he summed it up perfectly. I'll stay off of this one. But with Atlanta turning the ball over this, as much as they are, it would scare me a little bit with playing the under, because Seattle should be able to score the basketball. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else. Lena BB says Jordan Horston
Yeah.
7.5 points. She
Hey,
easily covers against Atlanta. What do you think about that, Jane?
where's that line at? That's what I want to know. I think that's definitely playable, but that ain't on no books I got. Is that on Underdog? Is that on Prize Picks? Because I'm on Underdog right now. I don't see it. So, but yeah, Jordan Horton,
7.5 points.
her PRA, her points plus rebounds. I couldn't talk you off of that at all. Yeah, she's not on Underdog.
She only on Prize Picks. She only on Prize Picks, like you said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could not talk
about
that. Maya Caldwell, interesting for Atlanta. She's on here.
7.5 on Bet365
for Horton.
No. For Maya Caldwell.
Oh,
she's gonna
yeah,
get some run.
Yeah, Maya's gonna get some run. And I want to do a little more research. You know, I want to be super responsible, but they're gonna need somebody because I would not be surprised if Alicia Gray gets trapped. After what I saw last game, if Atlanta even act like they got any kind of life in them, I think coach gonna cut that water off. So
yeah. 3 times says, is it me or does it look like Tina Charles' numbers went down once Canada got hurt? I'm pretty sure they did 3 times. I mean, that if you watch the way that Atlanta plays basketball, man, they just it's a lot that needs to be fixed with that offense. But a lot of it is, not having a true point guard. And Jordan Canada she's the type of point guard that's gonna make everybody around her better. She came back, we hit on her assist to go over. I think it was 6.5. She had a close to a double-digit assist game. I gave her double-double as I guess you could consider a blunt money bet. And she fell short, I think 3 assists in that game. But yeah, I mean, it correlates in my opinion. I would definitely think that her numbers went down. The one thing, is interesting. One thing that Seattle can be susceptible to at times is giving up, points to bigs. We saw them struggle with, Angel Reese and Cardosa and a few of those games. They're one of the best 3-point defenses in the WNBA. Actually, number one. They give up the fewest attempts. They give up the fewest. They're number one in opponent above the break 3 field goal percentage over the last 5 games, holding teams to 17%. And Atlanta doesn't shoot the ball there. They actually last in 3-point attempts, last in makes, second to last in above the break 3 attempts, and they're the 3rd worst field goal percentage team from the 3-point line in the last 5 games, shooting just 27%. So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be difficult for Atlanta to struggle. I probably would be looking towards their team total to go under, but it's an extremely low total. What were you going to say, Dream? Anything you want to
add? Tina Charles. Minutes are what went down for Tina Charles. That's the thing. Okay. They've been getting blown out. So, she's since Canada's been out the last 3 games, she's got 23, 25, and 26 minutes. So, and she still got 13, 9, and 12 in those games. So, yeah. On Tina, I definitely couldn't give that out as I didn't play it as a straight bet. It's just a look, guys. I wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah, Bruce says he likes that Storm team total for them to score 85. Like I said, it just doesn't align with the seasonal numbers for Atlanta, because even when they do play, and they're double-digit dogs, like I said, they're 5-0 to the under. So the opponent doesn't need to get to their team total because they struggle offensively. So that's what would make me look a little bit more towards their team total under before I took Seattle team total over. Also, I mean, when you think about Atlanta right now, they playing with pace. I guess they're 4th in pace over the last 5 games, but on the season, they're 9th in pace. So I'm not sure what Tanisha Wright got going on down there, man. I'm going to stay away from this one as much as I do want to make a play. I'll stay away from this one and just try to catch it live. So let's see. Dirty Reg says over under 70.5 on Dream. What you think? He's asking Bruce that. Okay, not me. Best of luck, Bruce. Appreciate you, man, for being in the chat today. I hope you cash whatever it is that you do play. I know you've been giving out some player props as well. And yeah, that'll be, I think that's, me and Dream did a pretty good job on all the games, honestly. Getting into a quick recap. For myself, I think I am going to lock in that Washington. So this should be red because I did not play this yet. But I think I am going to lock in that Washington team total over in the first half, 38.5. Just kind of staying away from the spread. But I couldn't talk anybody off the plus 7.5. Also, since me and Dream have been on the stream, That first half the point spread has moved. And
I got a 7.5.
I was gonna say, all right, so let me do this.
That's on DraftKings right now.
7.5 on DraftKings. Okay. So let's do this so you guys can see just a tad bit better. All right. So first half, you actually can get a plus. Hold on. Let's see. Let's clear this. All right. So Mystics, you can get a plus 7.5 on DraftKings at plus 115. It looks like it. Well, you can get it on Caesars plus 110. I'm sorry, minus 110 for the plus 7.5. So that looks like it's the best number right now. If you don't want to take that Washington, if you want to just play Washington first half against the number, like I said, they are 6-2-1 against the number, but they're also 6-2-1 to their team total over as well. So Washington team total over in the first half, over 38.5. I do think that they get the 40. Ace is going to play fast up and down the floor. May not be locked in from the beginning, and you got the double revenge as well. I gave out Mystics. I'm sorry, not Mystics. Minnesota first half yesterday. I think somebody said you still can get a 2.5 in the first half. So let's see real quick. Yeah, 2.5 is minus 115 over on BetMGM. I really do still love that number as well. I think, with it being a point difference, it doesn't scare me off a lot at all. I just think Minnesota is going to be super locked in for the game today. And then Minnesota for the full game. Like I said, I got a 2.5. I thought FanDuel was tripping. I said, they bugging. Let me go ahead and get this out. So I played the 2.5. That number's gone. And I think I am going to dabble on Washington plus the 13.5, man. I think eventually I'm going to fade the Aces and be right. Like, so if I didn't do it today, I would not enjoy myself today. So I need to plus 13.5 is available on Caesars right now for anybody who want to ride with me there. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna bet it. You also can get it on Bet365 as well. But I'll take Washington team total over first half, then plus the 13.5. Minnesota first half and full game dream. Staying away from the other two games. Like I said, I need updated injury information for Phoenix and Connecticut. Even though I do strongly lean towards Phoenix team total under for everything that I talked about in that game. Like I said, opponents are 10-0 to the 0-10 to the under on their team total when they're playing the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut at the Mohegan Center. So really, really strong lean towards that under. I think it was 36.5, their team total, 35.5, whatever it is for the Mercury. Anything you want me to add for you, Dream? I know I got Dejanay 4 rebounds in Connecticut, minus the 3.5 here. Got Caitlin Clark 3.5 assists. I'm sorry, under her 3.5 threes with just Vegas on the money line here. Anything else you want to add, Dream, or we want to keep it here?
I'll leave that like that, and I'll give your guys and your girls a quick blunt money bet. Yeah. Yeah, give you time. It's a plus 340. All right.
You breaking up a little bit, Jen. Can you say that one more time?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I'll just
good now. You good now? Yeah, you good now.
All right. I'll share a quick blunt money bet. It's a plus 346. I actually put a quarter unit on it, and it's a way to play all the team totals under. All right.
Okay.
So on BetMGM, Sun money line and the Mercury team total under 74.5.
Plus Phoenix team total under, right?
Yeah, 74.5.
Okay.
Caitlin Clark 5 assists.
All this together?
Yeah, it's gonna be a 6-leg. That's why you don't gotta write this down.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, cool. This just a 6-leg blunt money bet. It's a plus 346.
Okay.
So yeah, Sun money line and the Mercury team total under 74.5. Caitlin Clark 5 assists in the Fever team total under 82.5. In the Storm money line in the Dream team total under 72.5. Just a way for me to kind of play all the team totals and kind of shaded them. You get to do that on BetMGM, and that's a plus 346. I was doing that while we were on the show, just kind of researching that and putting those together. So yeah, Seattle money line and the Dream team total under 72.5. The Dream has got under 70 points 3 of their last 5 games. Crazy. The Fever team total under 82.5 and Caitlin Clark 5 assists. And the Mercury under 74.5 in the Sun money line. That's a plus 346 on BetMGM. I was hoping we got a boost. Don't got one. So yeah, there you go.
Like it, Dream. Like it, man. Shout out to T Mitchell in the
Yeah,
chat.
guys,
302
like,
people
hey,
watching, man. Let's get
It's
Chris to 100
man.
likes. I appreciate that. Stirring Company says, thanks, you guys. Love the props and all the looks. Yeah, man. You know, when I come on here and do a show, same thing for Dream. We just giving you guys, you know, our reads and how we think the game's gonna go. So, like I always said, I want to make sure I mention this a little bit more, man. You guys, you know, think about the ways that you want to play the game. That way, when you come in and you hear, you know, the analysis, if I talk you onto something and it, you know, inspires you to want to make that bet, take it. But if not, if you were looking at the game differently, don't let me talk you off your plays. You know, play whatever it is that you absolutely love, man. Like I said, these are the looks that I like today. Two of them that really spoke to me yesterday that I really liked. And then, like I said, Washington just been kind of growing on me, man. So I'm going to add that plus 13.5. I haven't sent it out to the members. I haven't played it yet. And Washington first half team total over 38.5. I'll be on those. And then, like I said, I'll wait on the Mercury game. And I also wait on the Seattle game as well, just kind of see if I can catch anything live, man. As always, I do like to go through just really quickly through the resources that I use to handicap the games. You guys can see them here. Moneyballer.com is right behind me and Dream over here. NBA.com advanced stats, of course, that's for NBA. But OddsJam is what I use to find the best lines and what lines are available on what book. Also, you guys can, if you wanted to sign up to check that out, you can cancel at any time. It's 25% off your first month if you use code CBC. The link for that is in the description of the video. And yeah, if you made it this far, do me a favor. Hit the like button for me if you can. Subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet. Share the show. All of those things are greatly appreciated. And of course, as always, the link for my official plays are in the description. Bet responsibly, man. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Enjoy your Sunday as well. And yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday. There's no games in the W tomorrow.